I'm really looking forward to Bullish V3, but I guess I'll drop a little bit of alpha. We do have like another game coming up, which I do like to take pride in. I think we're going to dominate POL games and making it fun and rewarding.
Hello, BM. It's been a while since I've made a Berachain podcast. The last one was with Ozzy from Roots. And actually, I wanted to turn the page and not do like a fully scripted podcast with everything prepared. And I wanted to do this for the first time with Fent and actually see where this conversation is going to lead us. We reserve some time to have this discussion, so we'll see where everything is gonna take us. Fent, if you don't know him, guys, he's rocking the Berachain community. He's a great guy. He's part of the Honey Jar team. Fent, great to have you here, my man. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing good. It's a freaking honor to hop on with you, and I don't know. I love the work you do. I'm super excited that this is a pretty chill, unscripted. We're just free balling it. That's how I like to do it. So I'm excited to jump into this.
Yeah, I mean, you've been rocking the THJ Coffee Break. There's like episode 46, 47. Where are you right now?
Yeah, I actually have that pulled up. Let me check exactly, because it has been like an everyday thing for a while now. I guess we're coming up on 2 months, but yeah, today was the 57th episode.
57th episode. Man, that's crazy. I mean, especially in times when Berachain had it like really rough, everybody was leaving the ecosystem, were just like full on going to Hyperliquid or just rugging or just shutting down projects like Meme Swap. Uh, I can't blame them because at the end of the day it's a business, but you are there every day showing strength, covering the eco, talking with people, doing spaces, I don't know, with like 5 people. It's important, I'm that kind of guy that I don't forget the people that are present in the hard times because you remember how it was when testnet vibes were before mainnet. Everybody was crazy, everyone was a bear, everybody. And after mainnet, after TG, it crazy times.
Dude, yeah. Definitely it's been a huge switch up, because I would say the vibes like before mainnet were just like euphoric. We saw,
Yeah.
I don't know, the bear sales, like the OG bear chain he's selling for like 5 figures, 6 figures. I think there might have even been a few 7-figure sales, and everyone was just so eager to support every single project. I don't know, it was an exciting time, and definitely, I guess when push came to shove and real money was involved, people's on-chain behavior, people's true colors have just kind of come out. And I think Berachain definitely has not been for the faint of heart recently. It's been a pretty tough place to be, and I think my biggest fear was Berachain is nothing without its community. Like, everyone talks about that. Everyone is like, the differentiating factor for Berachain is the community. And my biggest thing was, then what are we doing? We got to build community. You don't just like build community and as soon as mainnet launches, the job isn't done. And
That's when the job actually starts. That's the issue.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's when the job starts. And it kind of felt like a lot of people were just kind of waiting for mainnet to exit almost, because, like, I don't know, we just saw like constant sell pressure. I think a lot of people did leave, and it's been very, very tough with like the morale. So I try to just be the constant bull poster, the bullish figurehead to just keep people rallied up. I think it's hard, and it's like way harder to do alone. So I'm so happy to be a part of this amazing community.
Yeah, man, it's very, very hard to stay positive, especially in times like this. I mean, right now the market is doing a little better, but it's doing a little better for other chains like for Solana, Bonk ecosystem, Profan ecosystem. Not really for other projects. I mean, Berachain is doing slightly better. Uh, Maybe that's because they really changed and shifted the narrative with the pure V2, with crime season, getting back to the roots with the Berachain Foundation going to rocking a steady teddies, more memetics, and I think that's a good decision.
Dude, definitely. I think that's been something so hard is a lot of people did just kind of feel like the foundation like abandoned, but they were really just heads down building. Like I've been in constant connection with a lot of them, and they're always so responsive. They're very helpful, and it's just really tough because once mainnet is live and is shipped, you really just have to I don't know, it's heads down work from mainnet onward. And I love seeing them being aligned, rocking the steady teddies. I've had Smokey, I've had Captain Jack, I've had Jintao coding with Manny. I have a ton of people lined up to even join my daily spaces from the foundation. So it's great to see them at least be a little bit more visible and in tune with the culture and just ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing because the issue that happened pre-TG was that the whole community, including the community of Hello, the ones with the CEO of Hello, most of them were mercenary communities. So they said, okay, I'm gonna buy this $3 ecosystem project and I'm gonna get a bunch of better after. That really didn't happen. What actually happened, people with ideology collections got a bigger airdrop, which made a lot of sense, but it also didn't really make sense to buy one when everybody found out about everything because they were so goddamn expensive. I didn't even have one. I only had a friend that had like a bit bear.
Yeah, no, it was a huge barrier to entry, and it is one of those things where like just the OG supporters, like the people who were able to spot something before the hype, were able to enter way cheaper. But it's kind of interesting because like BitBears, the cheapest rebase collection, they were a pretty good entry up until about, I don't know, maybe a few weeks before mainnet. Like it still just made sense for the airdrop you got, which it's hilarious. CBB, freaking legend. That guy. So I really respect him. I think he's a man of his word. I don't know. He really played the game. He knew the pricings. Like he like had a general idea of where to actually like purchase some of these deals. And I was pretty lucky. I scooped a bit bear because I just randomly I got a freaking crazy airdrop one day, just unexpected. And I was like, dude, I'm just gonna buy a bit bear. And I bought a bit bear. And 2 hours later, CBB bought like 14 bit bears and like pumped them like 40% or something. I wrote a thread on it because I was like, wow, the timing of mine, like it couldn't be better. I was so lucky.
But how did you find out about Berachain and everything? I mean, tell me a little bit about not only Berachain, but who exactly is Fent? Did you do anything else before crypto? You just joined, you're full-time crypto right now. How was your journey?
Yeah, so I I had a little gap in my university, and I had just finished a winter internship at an accounting firm. And I had like I had about 4 months of downtime, and I was like still so interested in crypto. And it was weird. I was always interested in the Cosmos ecosystem, and I was always watching videos. And I was watching a CryptoCito video, and he mentioned Berachain, and I like hopped on the test net when it launched. I tried everything out, and I thought it was so cool, but I still wanted to like break into Web3, and I had zero experience. So I just went through DMing, or I actually was emailing because I didn't even have a Twitter account yet. And I was emailing 10 companies just blindly a day, asking like, hey, I'll do anything. I'll work for free. And I ended up working for a depin company. They did decentralized EV charging. It wasn't really something I was super interested in, but I had been a depin miner myself. Like I have a few devices that mine tokens, and I worked for them for, it was probably like 5 months. And then one day I was just like, I was at my normal Web2 job and I received a DM from Jani, and I thought it was a like freaking scam.
A scam.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, no way, because I knew who he was. I'd set up a Twitter by this time, and I had post notifications turned on for him. I like read every one of his tweets for like probably 2 years now, because I just always check what he tweets. And I saw a DM, and I was like, no way. And he was like, add friend, I want to throw you in a group chat. And he also said, Jani is taking a chance on you. So I was like, what? Yeah. So I accepted friend. He threw me in a group chat, and I met Fedor, FDub, Fungible Human, and they onboarded me to work at THJ and actually help with the CubQuests. And the reason they chose me is because I was so active in the THJ Discord, basically just complaining about the CubQuest. Like I was saying, like, this isn't working. This it's not completing. And they were like, I guess we'll just give him the job to answer his own questions. So I ended up picking up like the CubQuest support, and I ran CubQuest starting in like July of 2024 up until now, which we're in a little bit of a pause, but gosh, that was like the coolest experience ever, because I basically got to do BD with everyone in the ecosystem and work with even projects outside of the ecosystem, setting up educational quests. And like, if you don't know what CubQuest is, basically it's like a Berachain version of Galaxy, and it's super awesome because it really like allowed us to do a ton of things and raffle off whitelist, give away rewards, and craft like unique experiences for people to learn about the Berachain ecosystem during the testnet phase. So it was like all free. We had over like 4 million active users or active addresses, which I bet a good amount of those were bots or just Sybil farmers. But we would have like, I don't know, 20,000 people doing paid mints and like minting stuff. So it was a huge, awesome experience. And I guess I started at THJ, and I now currently work for THJ and also the Bullas NFTs.
Yeah, you're rocking the Bullas PFP.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm I'm so frustrated because Gods ended up hiring me for working at the Bullas, but he also asked me if I wanted an honorary, and I gave him a request, and it would have made it into the full collection if I had given him the request I did now. But I gave him like a crazy complicated request, and he literally, like, I asked him, I was like, hey, any update on the custom Bulla? And he like DM'd me and said, that shit was too complicated. We're not doing that.
But the gods left Bullas, right?
Yes, yeah, he did.
Why?
He stepped away from all of Web3, which it kind of makes sense. He was like, he has a family, and he also worked a full Web2 job. Like, he was the hardest working person I'd ever met.
I didn't know he had like a Web2 job.
Yeah, it was crazy. He dude worked like so hard, and when he did leave, he wanted me to like step on full time with the Bullas. So I'm like trying my best to honor his word and carry this project forward with the rest of our amazing team. And one of our founders is still here, SJ. And he is just a freaking unit, one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life.
I know SJ from group chats and everything, but I never knew what he actually does in the space until I saw that post that the Gaz is stepping down and SJ is gonna be taking charge or something like that.
Yeah,
But I feel like he's one of the OGs from the beginning, right? I mean, he was like an investor in a lot of the projects in seed rounds or something like that.
yeah, he's definitely an OG, and he paved a lot of like amazing paths. Like he wrote some great educational content. He formed some groups. He was, I believe, part of Jani DAO back in the day, which they got acquired by THJ slash Apiology DAO. So he was someone who he saw the big picture way back in the day and has just always been such a true believer.
Interesting. How is Johnny doing, by the way? I haven't talked to him. I think for a few months. I mean, he had that crash out, the burnout, but now he seems like he's full on speed, 100% focus and everything.
Yeah, dude, Jani's doing good. Like he is by good, like he's back working like fucking crazy. He's just tweeting more. Like when he took a pause from tweeting, he wasn't like working, or he was still working, but like externally, a lot of people just kind of expected that he just wasn't around. But no, he's online every day. he's he's a very like hardworking, big picture focused individual, and that whole instance with just with the foundation and hen lockers, it was just really disheartening, I think, because the guidelines were just all so fuzzy, it seemed, and it was really, I don't know, it was really frustrating as an organization. And Jani is like right now, like at THJ, we are 100% focused on Berachain. And I guess I've kind of taken the stance of being the more public facing person with FDub at a THJ. And it's just so, I don't know, it's amazing to see like he dreams something up and our devs turn it into reality. And we have some super, super exciting stuff like coming in the pipeline. So I'm always like, I am so bullish on THJ because as an organization, I really don't know a team that these people are like so bought in, and it's such a great environment to just work at. Like everyone just encourages you, you grow so much, you get a ton of responsibility, but also at the same time, a ton of support from all of your fellow team members.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of the THJ products, especially Hell No and Vera. And I'm always looking forward to see what you guys are doing because we are like 8 to 10 people right now, no? Or maybe bigger.
Yeah, I think right now we have, I think we're sitting at around maybe 15 to 20. I don't know the exact figures,
Yeah.
because when you look at our like team Discord, we do have a lot of bots that are like, it's crazy. Some AI agents that like they help. Like you report a bug and the bot automatically picks it up, but it's amazing. We like my team members are just so supportive, so hardworking. Everyone takes so much ownership in their realm of I guess like what they're assigned, because it's not really like you get an assignment at THJ. You kind of just get a goal, and you kind of get like a broad picture, and it's your goal to pretty much work through that. And I've always felt like I've just been someone who I just try to help out wherever we can. Like if we have a pain point, I want to help and I want to drive us forward so I can free up someone who's more intelligent or more capable's time. So that's like, I feel like my role.
Yeah, I mean, usually in startups and Web3 startups, every employee, collaborator, founder, co-founder really needs to be in the founder mode and to lead the way. I mean, you don't, when you have like smaller teams, you can't really rely on people to, just poke them. I need you to do this, I need you to do this. Everyone needs to be a leader in their own way and in their own segment.
Yeah, dude, I definitely agree just cuz like it's so difficult. Like web3 stuff, you're pretty much like turning a dream into reality. And a lot of the stuff we've done with THJ was basically the first like 3 months of mainnet. It was ship, ship, ship. We just needed to get everything live. And I've talked about this a lot on my personal, but we are just tying everything in. And it makes me so excited for like all the interlocking flywheels that we're going to have.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the whole hand lockers. I mean, I think almost all the hand lockers are filtered right now. Only the 420 million is not locked.
Yes. Yeah. 420 is the only one that is not locked, which is crazy. It's super exciting to me.
Yeah, yeah, and with the crime season coming up, so basically, crime season is like a meme because people were asking Smokey when price was dumping very hard, Smokey to crime. Crime, I don't know exactly from what it comes in my mind right now, but basically it means on-chain activity, TVL, community service, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really, so you're asking about crime, right? His
Yeah, yeah,
pneumatic.
yeah.
Yeah. I kind of asked about that to Captain Jack yesterday. And
Oh,
it's really interesting because I don't know exactly what they want to do with that. I don't know where we're going to go, but it does kind of seem like a refined grants program, more of like a way to support builders. Some people were speculating that it's going to be like a social fi campaign where I guess community members would be rewarded, but
so similar to the Kaito one that we
yeah,
had
but
after
I don't know
TG.
if it's going to be like that, to be honest. I think it's more of for builders and teams, which eventually will flow down to users and community. Because, like, if projects just fall down, it's kind of that hurts the community, anyways.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the issues with the POL, right? Because the main thesis with POL was projects to have revenue, but projects didn't have revenue because everybody cheated. So they only had the tokens that the foundation gave them to the RFA. But if they're using those tokens to give them as rewards, not talking about those who stole the tokens like Grand Conquest or what was their name, uh, when nobody actually bought and we were just getting incentives, that was driving the price down. Also, VCs like they were selling through the validators. Not that big of a sell pressure, but there still was sell pressure, so everything became like a death spiral, very hard to actually
Yeah.
control. And I mean, even if the best market makers, when everything is crumbling down, you just can't keep the price, right?
Yeah. It's been, I don't know, I think crime is kind of a response to the RFA system and its shortcomings, just because it's so hard to judge businesses on a testnet environment compared to a mainnet environment. Because, like you have said, like it's a business, and businesses, like, dude, you need revenue. Like, you need revenue, and if you don't have revenue, is it like it just makes me kind of it makes me sad because like if a project doesn't have revenue, they're not going to be around for a while. And like it's, I guess, like they're trying to adjust the RFA. They're trying to make right. They're trying to double down on true Berachain believers and true builders and communities. And it also, the POL v1.2, something that I think is kind of overlooked is this new single-sided staking with Bera, which is 33% of all the incentives bribed, means that private or locked tokens, which means like investors, like VCs, those tokens are not eligible for this new Bera staking. Which
No,
I
but
think,
they are also staking their beta right now.
yes,
Even though
yeah,
the APR is not that big, I think it's like 3% or something.
yeah,
But even us as investors, we had the opportunity to stake the tokens, but because we don't have the validator up and the unstake function doesn't work, even though they said it worked, when we talked with the custodians, they said no, it's not working. It was like a risk with us to stake the tokens, but all the VCs stake the tokens with infrared.
yeah, yeah. No, that was definitely, I don't know, that was a huge hit. It just felt sad that that was able to happen, and it kind of followed like the Cosmos playbook almost
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Celestia
yeah,
playbook, the Dimension playbook, yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
that's not even an issue if you have demand, but you can't really have demand when you have such high valuation and the market is not doing right, because we can see right now that maybe are entering an altcoin season, but until now only Bitcoin was doing good. Everything was fucking shit.
yeah. It's been so, I don't know, it's just so tough for like L1s in today's market. I feel like L1s are it's the most competitive field by far, because if you sign up to do an L1, you're essentially competing with Ethereum and Coinbase, or not Coinbase, Bitcoin, and just everything. Because like L1s, they kind of demand a different valuation than an L2 per se, and the market is, I don't know exactly where everyone's pricing things in, but we're seeing massive inflows to Ethereum, and it seems like Ethereum's just caught such a big bid. And if that's where the institutions are going, institutions most likely won't go to a smaller L1 because it can be seen as like a more risky investment.
Yeah, but from my point of view, what actually happened was, so Berachain said, okay, we're gonna do things differently. We're a DeFi chain because they were born in the DeFi meta, but we're gonna do something different this time. So we're gonna do this pure stuff, right? Um, which the main issue, what happened, so no, so they did. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be different, like any other chain, like Solana, like Sui, like where everything is like the same. You have Nexus, you have Perps, you have Lending, you have all those kinds in Berachain also. But we're gonna do things differently, and we're gonna invent and do this novel thing called POL, which was very bullish, and I'm still am very bullish with all the memetics and everything. But the issue was, and people were trying to say to me this in the testnet era, uh, bro, it's not gonna do good. You know why? Because nobody fucking understands it. You know, it's too complicated. People really want things simple. Investors want things simple. So it's not going to do it. I said, no, it's something novel, it's something good, it's something that revolutionizes POS. POS, you know, it's doomed. You can see, you say you've come to the Cosmos ecosystem. Myself, I was initiated from the Cosmos systems. We know the old issues that the POS has, but it didn't really work out, you know. So maybe right now when we have like Bera staking, single-sided staking, people are actually gonna stake the Bera, but will it make sense? I mean, how many people do you actually know, retail people who buy and stake tokens?
I think a big thing that this Bera staking does unlock is it can be viewed as pretty attractive for a traditional like financial institution because of just staking is attractive to them. And before this, the APR was just nothing good on just raw staked Bera to a validator because you got better APR when you actually LP'd, and LPing is just way too complicated. And like with financial regulation, it's difficult because it kind of like the accounting for those assets are way different when you enter an LP position versus
Yeah, man.
staking.
Yeah, I mean, you have an accounting background. At BlockHunters, I'm the one that does like part of the account because I actually send at the end of every month, I send them like a balance sheet with our tokens and screenshots with the tokens that we mined from all the chains. And it's something so complicated. You have so many prices, so many tokens, and it's for someone that's in Web3, it's pretty simple, you know. But if you go into details, as you said, it becomes more and more complicated. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. Also, another thing that I saw on Twitter back when Berachain launched it, and you had like those good APRs on the stable coins. There was a tweet from, I don't know, someone well known on Twitter. I can't remember his name. He was asking, "Yo, where can I get the best APR better than Aave or any lending app on Ethereum?" And somebody responded, "Hey, come to Berachain. You have like triple stablecoins to get this APR." And I said, "Bro, I'm not gonna put my money," and he was not talking about $100 into something called honey with the B honey with BUSD with which nobody understands.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that it's really difficult because like I'm someone who's very Bera pilled and I'm in the weeds and I understand more of what's going on behind the scenes, and like honey was a familiar asset to me, but I harp
For
on
me
this.
too.
Yeah, I try to harp on it a lot. I felt like a big shortcoming of Berachain is we needed to make it as easy as possible to like feel comfortable using dApps, because when you're dealing with a brand new, like it seems to you, a brand new stable coin, you're immediately like I don't know. And
Yeah,
that's like,
especially with UST. Remember
yeah,
what happened with UST, right?
yeah, it's just risky. And that's why I'm super happy with this new Bera Hub update we got like a few days ago, 2 days ago, where everything is just so much more simple. It makes more sense. We're saying earn while doing this. It's not like confusing where it's like, oh, you have to stake LP tokens to do this. Like, it's just more welcoming. And that's why I'm so bullish on Bend and Burps, which are the native lending platform and perps exchange that's coming to Berachain. Because if you're someone that doesn't know much about Berachain and you're not like too in the weeds for Web3, you're going to feel more comfortable testing out a platform when it's on the official Berachain account. Like you're going there from a link from them. It's verified on Rabby. It has like listed by, and they have the gold check mark, and you're interacting with proof of liquidity through a link you know that's safe. And when you know it's safe, you can do more research to explore the ecosystem yourself, because there's always smart contract risk at the end of the day. And I don't say this to say that like the ecosystem projects are shady. Like I work in the ecosystem, but I say this as a brand new entrant. And I said it yesterday, and Captain Jack took it as me saying that the ecosystem projects are shady. And that's not what I mean by this at all. I just mean there is a level of trust when you're clicking a link on a verified X organization that has a gold check mark and like they have 1 million followers. There's a little bit more safety in that than clicking the link of a protocol that's just verified and has 10,000 followers.
Yeah, and when is gonna be the new POL live after 21st July?
Yeah, I think that's I know by the end of July it should be live, but I don't know exactly how they're going about the governance for this. I don't know if it's going to be a vote, or I don't know if it's just going
Yeah,
to get.
it's gonna be a vote. Yeah, it's a forum proposal right now, and then it's gonna be a vote. So basically, it's the classic way.
Good. Yeah,
I
as it
don't
should.
know. I don't know exactly how much work needs to be done on the technical side because it's not that simple. I know they had like a lot of not issues, but for us in our case as validators, they was always saying like wait for the staking pools. So it seems like the staking pools are going to be live after this implementation.
Good. Yeah, and I'm so happy they're giving us timelines and giving us like something where the public can just hold the foundation responsible, like hold them accountable for you gave us a timeline, and that's so amazing. It's so transparent, and I really think the foundation has handled this like exceptionally well.
Yeah, and even returning to the memetics, as I said earlier, because people resonate with something that is fun, that they understand, they want to shitpost because they shifted at some point. They were too corporate at some point. And Berachain should have been corporate, right?
Dude, I agree. I agree 100%. That's something I've been very vocal about. And that's why like I'm so proud to rep a Bullas. Like I think Steady Teddies are great. I think all these projects are great. But like we don't have any VCs. We don't have anyone to promise to. I always say like the suits don't have their hand in us. And like I felt like Berachain did for a little bit. We were a little bit too corporate. We were too official, and it's like you got to get back to shit posting. You can't forget your roots. You got to always like get the culture, get the humor, nurture it. That's how you build community, and that's how you build a cult.
Yeah, but the difference is here that Berachain has a lot of VCs. They
Yes.
really, I mean, they have like 142 million funding. I mean, when you sell that much of the token, you don't really, you can't really do everything that you want to do. I mean, people are telling, I mean, you can imagine what kind of pressure Smokey had from the VCs. Of course, he's not gonna tell or anything, but it can be something that's easy.
Yeah. No, it definitely is tough. Like, and Smokey has like publicly said they wish they didn't sell so many tokens. And of course, like hindsight's always 2020. And I feel like the only like it sounds so cliche and kind of stupid, but the only thing we can do is just focus on the future, because what's been done is it has been done, and tokens have been sold, contracts have been signed. And I really do love like the new Bera staking is for the community. It's for people to like non vested tokens. And I like I can tell that's a step in the right direction from the foundation, and I know it's just the beginning of the new path forward.
How big do you think is the community right now, realistically?
Do you mean like a figure, like a number on that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to know because it's strange. There's so many sub communities within Berachain because I'm in so many discords, and it's crazy how active some of these discords are. Like you go into Berapaw's server, and they have a huge active community, like a couple hundred people just being active every day. And then when you go to Smiley, it's like Smiley's having an active Discord server, and then Barrowland, and then THJ. And I would say like we're still in like the five figures of people being like active every day. But it's hard with Berachain because it's kind of not an active chain for some aspects. Like you kind of park capital and kind of set it and forget it. Like if your strategy has been like origami, Ori BGT, that's literally a
Mm-hmm.
set it and forget it strategy. And like a lot of the farming that I've done has just been more passive. And it's interesting because we've seen the retail, or not the retail, the appetite from the community like not being for memes. Like memes don't really get traction on Berachain. And I think that's just because we're a little bit more sophisticated and into DeFi and into lending and borrowing and then providing liquidity. And a lot of people just like playing these games rather than the meme token game.
Yeah, but as you said, it's for sophisticated people. I mean, how many people in Web3 actually understand DeFi and can do the right choice without getting liquidated? On DeFi, you don't really get notifications. You need to know. I mean, it's especially if that is like the simple layer of DeFi. If you go into something like more crazy loop, like the Baker DAO stuff, and just endless loops, and that could be very risky, especially if there is no demand. If there is demand, you're gonna win a lot, right? Because that was like, I don't know, like the DeFi Summer and the Olympus DAO rules of Berachain.
Yeah, that's something I feel like I considered myself pretty savvy compared to like Web 2 folks like a few months ago, but I've just gotten so much more advanced with DeFi knowledge and DeFi understanding. I feel like a lot of the users, even on Berachain, don't understand impermanent loss because impermanent loss, like when you're providing liquidity, people don't, they're like, oh, I'll just lose 40% and my APR is 700% or something. But it's like if you're losing principal, that affects your earnings. That affects a lot of stuff. And that's why I'm a huge fan of like what we're doing at THJ. We call it Simpol, Simpol. And it's the easiest way to participate and understand proof of liquidity. Like we have set it and forget, which is going to be the easiest auto compounder. I think hen lockers are phenomenal. Like basically you're like when you lock some of those tokens, I know some people that treat that as like burning their tokens. And even if you're burning those tokens and you're earning like 110% APR, which is like the 1 billion vault, you get
Yeah,
that.
but the API is BGT, is not hello. That's the
Yes.
difference. It
Yeah.
doesn't put sell pressure on hello.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think BGT economics are just so fascinating because when you have these different derivatives, you're able to play around with the premium. And it's pretty exciting because I think today, I wonder if it's still up. I'm trying to pull it up real quick, but the MISO BGT, which is MBGT, is sitting at a 29.05% premium, which is absolutely ridiculous compared to like IBGT has fallen so much. And like IBGT is at 7.9% premium. So it's like you can basically like play around with that premium and redeem your BGT as a MISO BGT and then just swap that to IBGT if you want. And I think there's just so many new economic flywheels that this opens up, like playing with the premium, which is increased efficiency already on top of proof of liquidities around 20 to 30% efficiency for dollars spent.
Yeah, that's crazy. But we still need to educate people. They need to understand the risks about this kind of stuff and what's the pot because it's like DeFi for DJs in a way. You know,
Yes.
you go with the, maybe you could say infrared is the safest. I'm not saying it's the safest. Don't need to put don't need to dump shit on other, but when you have so many LSTs with premiums, as you said, something can go off at any point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do really agree. I think education's like the biggest thing. That's why I started posting because I just wanted to educate people because I was learning at the same time. And if I find something interesting to learn about, I feel like at least one other person will too. And it's kind of proven that it's been a couple more than just a few. And I always just try to help people because if it's something I wish I knew, then I feel like someone else might have wished they knew that too.
Yeah, and I mean the best way to educate yourself is to educate other people. That's why I started doing the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same shit that we are doing. It's just wrapped up in a different gift bag.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. You just package it a little bit differently. I love it though.
Do you have any like mentors in the space that really helped you? I mean, really shaped you in the way Fent is today?
I would say definitely God's probably like played the biggest impact just because he was the guy I was like I spoke to him every day, pretty much all day. Like he pushed me so hard. He was it's funny, a lot of people thought he was like really mean because he was just really blunt, but it was seriously like some of the best guidance I've ever gotten. Like he would ping me and be like, I need this done. And I would just be like, yes, sir. Yeah. And I would do it. And he just opened up my eyes to like the possibilities of working hard because what I thought was like working hard was like 1/10 of God's definition of working hard. And definitely I would say SJ at the Bullas, like that dude has always been like super close, super helpful, answers any questions I have. And like, I don't know, tons of people. I'm really close with the IVX team because they are so amazing to like educate me on concepts I just don't understand. And I've been very fortunate that a lot of these builders have just taken time out of their day to answer questions by me and educate me. And I feel like in a lot of ecosystems, you just don't get that possibility. A lot of the teams almost act like they're too big for the community. And
Yeah, that happens in more mature ecosystems, because people, when they get big, they tend to become arrogant. That's the human nature.
yeah, it's crazy. It's really, I don't know, it's very unique about Berachain. People just have your back, and it does like feel like a family at the end of the day. Nomad Bera is also a dude who like him and I have grown very close. He's a freaking legend. He answers everything, every question I got, and he is like such a great mind. And anytime I was like questioning my bullishness, I always remember I'm like, if a guy like Nomad is in this space, like there has to be something here because he's just so smart.
He understands POL very well. He's one of the best guys that really understands all DeFi POL stuff.
Yeah, no, he's great, man.
Yeah, but tell me about Bullas. I mean, you have the game, you have Bullish, you have the NFT collections. What's next with the Bullas? Why we should be bullish on Bullas?
Yeah, so basically Gods he tweeted this tweet a long time ago, and it stuck to me so much. It was, every holder of the Bullas is a shareholder in the Bullas like success, and we're like honoring that 100%, where our biggest focus is driving revenue so we can share that with our holders. And a big thing, a lot of people have questioned like why we haven't distributed the revenue yet, and it just comes down to we want to gain the most economic efficiency we can with distributing that money. Because if we just airdrop all the revenue we have that's set aside for our holders right now, it does very little. Like, you're gonna get that airdrop, you're gonna be done. But if we can do BGT, like do bribing to single-sided staked NFTs, we'll gain like a 20 to 30% premium. So our holders will get 20 to 30% more. And if they choose to state if they choose to claim that with a BGT derivative, let's just say MBGT, that's already another 30% on top of that previously spoken 30% economic efficiency. And like we're still finishing up Bullish V3, which is going to be free to play for everyone. Like everyone can come play. You don't need a Bullas NFT to play. And I'm really looking forward for that because I'm going to go on like a little world tour, meeting up with communities and just trying to onboard some people. And I'm really looking forward to Bullish V3, but I guess I'll drop a little bit of alpha. We do have like another game coming up, which I do like to take pride in. I think we're going to dominate POL games and making it fun and rewarding, because I know some guys who are like personally making pretty good money playing Bullish every day, and like props to them. Like, dude, they are crushing it. And we're also focusing on revenue generating products, so we want to keep turning Bullas into a real incumbent, a real strong project, a dynasty, an enterprise of having all these products generating revenue. And then that goes to the end of the day to our holders, which
Yeah, and basically you actually driving revenue into the POL flywheel.
yes. And a big thing we do really want to, I guess, focus on is like this onboarding where we can make someone's like first experience with Berachain just so easy, so fun, and so memorable, with whether it's Bullish or one of our other up and coming products. And I don't know, I love the art. I love the Bullas. I think it's so funny. We're Bullas
They
on
were
a
designed by gods, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and I like the fact that basically they are the anti-heroes of the Berachain.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, we're sticking it to the man. Like we're Bullas. And I really I don't know, I'm super excited. I have dude, I have like 1,000 Bullas logo patches, and they came out super fresh, and I need to find a way to give those out. We did some merch I gave away at a ETHCC, so that was freaking awesome.
How was the ECC, by the way? Because I missed that train.
It,
Everybody said it was fantastic, but the heat was, man, people were like the heat was monstrous, but it was very good ECC.
yeah, no, it was a good time. It was awesome. It was my first conference while I've worked in the Berachain ecosystem. So I got to meet a ton of people, which was mega exciting. And yeah, it was way too hot. It was hot and humid. They don't really do AC there, which
Oh.
like some places have AC, the hotels had AC, but a lot of the venues just didn't have AC, and it was just really brutal. And there were a good amount of Berachain people there. I heard it was not as many as there normally is, but it was a great time. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, that's because, you know, most of the Berachain folks are from North America, Canada, or US, and it's kind of tricky to get to Cannes, right? I mean, it was easier to get to Denver.
Yeah, no, it was kind of tough to travel there, but I don't know, it was good. It was a good rallying point for a lot of people to meet up and I guess like to just double down on our beliefs, double down on where we're taking this ecosystem, double down on trust. Like it was good. We really went there because I went there to represent the Bullas, because we just wanted to build that layer of trust. We wanted people to actually like know we have a real team. We're here. We're bought in. And I don't know, SJ, our founder, he is the biggest Berachain bull in the world. Like, unironically, he is a bulla, but like we are so bullish on Berachain and proof of liquidity. And I don't know, it's great to like double down on the ecosystem, double down on the winners, double down on the people who are building on Berachain and Berachain only.
Yeah, I mean, especially in tough times, you need someone that uh, at some point in time you need someone that could say something beautiful to you and make you be bullish again and have faith and be optimist, because in this industry of ours, uh, it's ups and downs, man. It's a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, dude, it definitely is. Like, it's uh, it's tough. It's really hard, and especially just the way we've touched on this already. Like, Berachain is set up. Like, people are LPing these assets, and LPing can really, really hurt you if you're LPing tokens that are going down. And I feel like making proof of liquidity simple is just something we have to do. You have to be able to interact with it so easily, and then also comprehensively understand what's going on. And that's why I try to make like educational posts with diagrams of what's happening in the background,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy once you can visualize it.
Yeah, exactly. Are you a holder of anything right now? I mean, besides Bolas, of course. I mean, do you have like any tokens, any NFTs, something that you're bullish on?
Yeah, I definitely, like, dude, I'm pretty well diversified when it comes to Berachain NFTs. I hold a little bit of everything, I would say, like literally everything. I just minted Haiku Trade's new NFT while we were talking, but I
What's that? I never heard of that.
oh, it's a DeFi, or like it's DeFi AI. So it's like they allow cross chain
Okay.
transactions, and it's pretty cool because you can like essentially chat with it like ChatGPT and say, LP my position on Berachain, the highest APR, like with just Bera exposure, but also open up a hedge against my Bera position. And it can do that in one click. So it's really cool.
Wow. Wow. That's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. It's so
Or
freaking cool.
Also, I like the concept, all this concept, with multi-chain proof of liquidity. I don't know if I spoiled that. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that like Roots? Like what they're aiming?
Yeah, but he is building another project besides Roots. So basically, any EVM chain
Nagisa?
can tap. I think that's the one. Any EVM chain can tap into proof of liquidity or something like that.
Yeah, I think I don't know, it matters the end goal, because if Bera becomes a more attractive asset to hold and people are onboarded from other chains and they're tapping into Berachain's proof of liquidity, but they're doing this with like cross chain, easy, very simple UX. It's one click, you're tapped in, earning a ton of yield. I could see that as a net positive, but at the end of the day, if you're just offering very high APRs, people want that yield, and the only way to realize yield is to sell tokens. And I feel like there basically just has to be a better pitch for staying on Berachain. There has to be a good pitch of being able to, I guess, like incentivize people to stay longer. And I could see it as being like a net win. That's what, like, we're hoping to do something similar with cross chain bullish gameplay, being able to spend
Okay.
any token you have, it gets converted into Bera, and then that Bera is bribed and you earn BGT.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, yeah. What do you feel is the best? token in Web3 right now to hold and it makes sense?
So it does come down to dude, I think Bitcoin's a good asset. I think Bitcoin is always a cool asset to have. I think it just makes a lot of sense to have some of your portfolio in Bitcoin. And I guess hype, I think a lot of people, hype just makes sense. We'll see if pump makes sense with these buybacks. It seems like the whole meta right now is buybacks. People love buybacks. They love constant buy pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of matters because I think hype is going to pioneer that wave of like massive buy pressure every day. Like last 24 hours, $4.4 million of buy pressure. And I guess like if it does continue to trend upward, it should perform well as an asset. But maybe we'll just see a point where these buybacks, like somehow they just get arbed out and people just sell into the buy walls or something. I don't know, and I guess we'll need to see over a longer point of time. But I personally like IBGT. I like Yeet. I also like Henlo. I think these are
He's my biggest bag, Hello, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think we're cooking up some pretty exciting stuff. But it's the same story you've probably heard, which we just got to get these balls rolling. Like if we don't get the balls rolling, it's just not going to work. Like it comes down to we just got to set things in motion, and if we don't like start, we're never going to reap those benefits. But like with the incinerator, and I believe we've put this into a request for a reward vault already, the wall, which is going to deepen our liquidity with Henlo just exponentially. But these things are exponential, so they're going to start small at first, and we really just hope over time, because it's a bet on Berachain. Because if it is really just a function of time for it to be very meaningful, we just have to wait until we have to just wait and see where Berachain trends towards.
When is the incinerator gonna be live?
The incinerator currently is live. I think we've had some issues with the incentives being added, because I think some validators like drained our incentives like in 24 hours when they were supposed to be spanned over 3 days, because we want it to be more constant and like an everyday thing versus just like one day take 3 days off, one day take 3 days off. And
okay,
the new reward vault, I guess steady APRs and the stuff that the foundation's been working on with these BRIPs are going to be super helpful for us being able to target how we want these incentives distributed. So it should be way more steady, and it's going to be automated. It's all going to be hopefully constant, a buyback and burn.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. As I said, Hello is my biggest bag. I believe the only thing that I don't like about Hello is the vesting and that it has seed investors. But I think right now it's a good price, and not financial advice. I mean, I think you should say some stuff like this. But yeah, I like Hello because I believe in THJ, and you guys have the biggest. You understand the memetics games and the degen world, and yeah, you get it.
Yeah, and we're just so very long-term minded. It really I don't know, it just makes me super excited that we're just gonna focus on the long game, and we're just gonna play our game. We're not gonna try to play any other game, and we're gonna deliver to our holders and to our community. So I really look forward to that.
Yeah, and I know that you will. I'm very confident that Berachain is going to be doing good. I like the shift. I liked everything. Are you are you involved in any kind of way into Mi Bera?
I'm not too much. I help with our CubQuests. I help with I guess some of the behind the scenes, like I helped with the whitelist, but we kind of have a separate department for that, and they're the craziest people in the world, and they're crushing it. But I
Yeah, I also like Me Better, so
yeah,
that's why I wanted to ask. I love the lore, I love everything. I love the designs. I love what they are doing with Crypto Mokus, with the reveal parties on stream. I really think it's very cool.
yeah, it's so cool. I hopped on the reveal stream yesterday with Crypto Mocus, and it was
Oh,
funny.
nice.
They were trying to depict one of the satanic Maberas, and they were trying to actually like decode all the meanings and stuff. And I was like, guys, I'm so lost. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, the lore is so deep in Mibera. You really need to have a lot of pop culture to really understand most of the stuff that's happening in all the designs, and especially more uh, drug infused pop culture, rave culture, not for normies, culture.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. I think Mabera is such a cool story. All the lore that's been dropped, the journey we've taken is just so cool. And I've read all the lore stuff, and I keep saying this. I just need to go
Yeah.
back and read it again. It's hard to digest.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing that attracted me to Berachain initially, and especially the honey jar was the lore. And I think the lore makes sense, you know, because crypto has an incredible lore, right? Nobody knows who Satoshi is. Nobody, of course, somebody knows, but it's mysterious. It's intriguing. It's cyberpunk. It's so people are attracted to this kind of stuff. But I feel that institutions are how can I say it, are moving us away from that cybernetic cyberpunk crypto native world, because they started coming in very aggressively, so a lot of things are gonna change.
Dude, yeah, I 100% agree. I think I don't know, you can't lose your roots. You can't, I guess, be I don't know. I always say this, like, you got to stick it to the suits. Like, you got to hold that culture. And like, I know VCs play a very good role in the space, and like a lot of VCs do help a lot of projects succeed. And we may not have ever seen Berachain if it wasn't for VCs, but at the same
Exactly.
time, like we can't lose the culture. Like otherwise, why would I be doing I don't know, why would I be on Twitter? Why would Twitter exist if we didn't like crypto Twitter? It wouldn't exist if we didn't have the culture.
Yeah, I mean that's the big difference between Web3 and Web2 is the community, because you don't see people downloading Uber and staying on Telegram and talking, hey, I'm a big Uber fan, hey, something like that, So in Web3, first come the community, and then actually comes the product. That's of course if you have a product, because in some of the cases you don't have a product. That's one of the biggest issues with Web3, but the ethos, the community ethos, is very good. I mean, from my point of view, it really, really changed me a lot, and I really, really talked about this, because I worked in media previously, but I never had like my face somewhere. I was scared to speak in public. My English wasn't that good, still isn't that good, but Web3 made me feel like you don't need to be afraid, you just need to hop in, and it's like swimming, and you learn.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. So at my university, I was actually the president of our crypto club, and I was passing it off, and it kind of sucks. Like I ended up passing it off to someone who didn't really care. They weren't really interested. And when I talk to these people in the crypto club, like I like don't mean this in a bad way, but they're like normies. They have Bitcoin on Coinbase or like XRP on Coinbase, and that's it. And I'm like, I've told them, I'm like, dude, spin up a wallet, look up something on Twitter, freaking just try it out. Try it out with $10. If you get rugged, you get rugged. Like, just try stuff out, jump in. And that's like what I did when I just emailed these companies, because I was like, I need to break into this space. I got to try it out. I want to be a part of something. And somehow my road led to Berachain. And I think I'm pretty deep into the weeds now, and I try stuff out, so I learn. And that's the only way to learn, is to actually try it out.
Yeah, the other thing that you have to learn is, and that's kind of shit, you have to really lose a lot of money.
Dude,
You got to get rugged, you got to get to the slippage part, man, when I first started out, I remember getting rugged on pulls, on osmosis. Osmosis because you're from the cosmos, with the 700% APRs, 1000%, The- you know, you have to get rugged in that way to understand how economics work.
yes, dude, I 100% agree. And I guess like the phrase is like cutting your teeth. And I feel like I did that in the Cosmos ecosystem. And I played around in Solana also. Like, I've lost so much money. I've lost so much stuff. I ended up like, so I invested $1,000 into the BGM project, Berachain.
What's that? Birdab, yeah.
And I was literally like, dude, this is the best thing ever. My $1,000 was worth like 23,000. And I was like, bro, this is the coolest shit I've ever done. I was having a good time. I was speaking with the team. I was bullish. People were selling. I was like, dude, it seems like they have a real plan. It's an ex Foundation member. And then they wrote.
It was the one with BlockBeras, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And BlockBeras rugged everybody, and he left the ecosystem or something like that.
Yeah, he deleted all his socials, and like, it's kind of crazy because I had a conversation with him. Like, I was like, hey, dude, let's like clear your image. Let's like get all this information out there so people can be bullish on it. Because like, I still believed in it. And I literally, like, dude, I lost my $1,000 investment. And like, that's not the first time I've lost money, but I've lost a ton of money. I played in Cosmos, but I like spoke. I don't know. After that, it really changed my view. I was like, dude, this guy like openly rugged me, talking to me. And it kind of like, it got my skin a little thicker. I was like, I just need to be more sophisticated, more questioning. And like, it's trust, but verify. And like, take someone's word, but always verify the source. Try to make better decisions. And I don't know, it really helps you pick winners over losers. And it just refines, it allows you to double down on winners, on people you believe in and people you trust.
And what did BlockBeras say? Tell me, what did you talk with him? What happened?
He told me they were pivoting to a ritual network, and like,
what the
he
fuck
also,
is that?
it's some AI chain, but he also just talked about how like NFT, it was going to be an equity NFT, and they had a plan, I guess. And then they just like pulled the plug and I guess just walked away, which makes sense. But I don't understand the point of, like, if you raise the funds, I don't know. I think a token for raising funds is kind of bad. I personally really enjoy the NFT model of raising funds, because I think in that you are literally exchanging money for a placeholder, which can serve as like an equity or a future airdrop or something. And I feel like Kingdomly, I talked with Ethan about this. Like, I think it's a great.
Yeah, but NFTs are harder to dump, so that's why people don't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and yeah, I agree.
Yeah, tell me about it. I love it, and I AZ2 Kingdom guys are
Yeah, dude, the
OGs.
Kingdomly team is cracked. We just talked about how it served their platform served amazing for a lot of teams to raise funds. Like I'm super bullish on Fable because I believe in Xander. He's just a legend. He works his ass off, and like, dude, that mint was a no brainer for me. I like minted because I was like, dude, I don't care if the NFT goes to zero. I'm supporting him. Like I'm supporting this builder. And when
Yeah,
you
I actually the editing on the Berachain movie that we did is with was done by his co-founder Swat on Fable.
dude, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah, everything that you saw, all the animations that you see in Fable, the guy that did it, Swat, did all the animations and the editing on the Berachain documentary we did.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. That's cool. Yeah, and I don't know, I like viewing NFTs like it could be a cool way to raise funds because you're able to if you do it the right way. It has to be done the right way. You have to be clear and transparent about your plans. You have to have a roadmap. And I think it can be a great tool. And of course, we've seen a lot of like shortcomings, a lot of people like I guess like rugging or just slow rugging. And it just comes down to like the caliber of builders. If you take 10 bets, you have to be okay with 9 of those losing. Like that's the honest to God truth.
Yeah, I mean, there is something that people don't really understand in Web3, and that's because most of the people in Web3 are very young. When you get rugged, you always have the impressions that the ones that are rugging you, they want to rug you. Maybe in most of the cases that happens, but maybe in some cases the project doesn't work. I mean, look at the normal road. How many startups do they actually thrive? Most of them that just die because things don't work out. Maybe you don't have experience. You can have the most sincere I mean plans and things in your life, but they just don't work out. It doesn't mean you want to rug your people.
Yeah, dude, I 100% agree. I really think that like it's dude, a lot of people have used an excuse that Web3 businesses are different from Web2 businesses. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. It's a business. And
Exactly.
like with the business, you have employees. Like there is a burn rate. There is like like you have to have revenue. You can't just sell vibes and make no money cuz you'll die out. And that's like I don't know, something I've freaking loved to see was like Baby Bera and their mints on Berachain. Like I thought the musical NFT mints they did and like how there was utility for having all of them. I thought that was so cool. And I really thought that like you just need to find a unique way to monetize. Like Web3 gives you way more interesting ways to monetize. And basically like that's what like THJ, we are a business and we do have revenue generating products. Like we have validators and like we're trying to hopefully turn CubQuests into more of a revenue generating product, but not coming from consumers, coming from businesses doing B2B and allowing unique experiences. And we're selling that. And I think that at the end of the day, like people, you need revenue and proof of liquidity will not save a business that makes no economic sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they didn't work, because no projects had any revenue. But how do you bring people in to actually make revenue? That's another thing, because why would I buy this token? That's one of the main concerns and biggest problems in Web3. You say, okay, I'm buying a token because I feel I have like a sort of an equity in the project. But really you don't have, because if you have like a token that is like an equity, that's a security token. So most of them don't are security tokens. I think Hyperliquid has like that kind of security model where you make revenue, and with that revenue you give back to your shareholders, which the shareholders are the stakeholders or the actual holders of the tokens. But that doesn't usually happens.
Yeah, dude, definitely. I couldn't agree more. I think that a lot of like the way we see Web3 right now, the way we experience everything is just like it has lacked some regulatory clarity for quite some time, and people kind of did with that like, oh, we don't have to be a real business, like we don't have to have revenue. And I think we're going to see a shift towards like dividend producing token, like essentially like tokens serving more as equities in the future, because I think that's just going to be more attractive for this emerging market, especially like if we see AI take off and like having rev share for certain AI projects and protocols, because the buyback meta is like so huge right now. Like we're seeing that with Pump. We're
I
seeing
mean, it's a no-brainer. Is it that? I mean, that's the fucking issue. I mean, that should have been a fucking standard, man, just to buy back your tokens.
yeah,
And we are looking right now like this is, wow, this is a meta, this is something revolutionary. Bro, that should have been something basic.
yeah. No, it definitely should have been.
What's your take on AI and crypto right now?
I think I don't know. It's pretty. It's such a massive market, and basically, I think it's going to be interesting to see if like some of these decentralized like Web3 companies are going to stand a chance against some of the giants like Google's Gemini and OpenAI,
Mm-hmm.
because like those those companies are in a niche. Like they are. This is all they do every day. They are the highest paying companies, like probably in the world almost. Like they will get the best talent, and you just benefit from that. And it's really hard to catch up. It's hard to compete with that because a lot of it is like economically driven. And if you could take like a like 8-figure, 9-figure contract to go play with OpenAI, I think a lot of people will do that versus trying to build it open sourced and decentralized, because it's it's hard to compete with those economies of scale they generate. Like they can have huge data centers, and I feel like what we're going to see more of is like AI agents, but AI agents in the background. I don't really like I don't know, a lot of people they like the chat GPT style interface. I'm not too much of a fan of that for like doing transactions, but I feel like essentially having like aggregators where like of course you can ask an AI like what's the best yield I can get on single-sided ETH right now, and it aggregates every possible opportunity in Web3, and basically like you can just one click participate in that because everything happens in the background. I think that's going to be a pretty good meta. I think smart wallets, like I'm a huge fan of smart wallets actually, because like it enables
What do you
one
mean about smart wallets? What are
like
smart wallets?
I guess abstract. I think abstract's a smart wallet where you just deposit funds into it, and then you're able to do one-click transactions.
Is that like Universal X or Shogun?
Yeah, like Shogun. Yeah, I haven't used
Uh-huh.
Universal X too much.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, account abstraction is something that we need. I recently used something. It's not you can really call account abstraction, but it really worked well. A relay link. I bridged from Berachain to Solana. Worked 9 out of 10 times worked perfectly.
See,
So
yeah, that's the best experience. I personally think Hyperliquid has one of the best user experiences in all of crypto, because when you get funds on Hypercore, you can literally place a trade in one click, close a trade in one click. You can like swap into assets, like using their decks, like their spot decks, and just buy any asset you want that's offered there and hold it there and then sell it quickly. And it's just all one clicks. It's so easy and it's so fast. And some people even say it's not fast enough, which if it becomes faster, it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be so crazy to me.
I haven't used Hyperliquid once. I'm gonna be honest with you. Once I didn't even use it, but I should go and use it, and maybe even go into the Hyper EVM trenches and see if I can find something interesting there. But either way, the issue with Hyperliquid is that everyone says, no, not everyone says. The concern with them is with the validators, because they own most of the validators, and they say basically it's still a centralized exchange, but wrapped in a decentralized perps exchange.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, I don't know. It becomes an argument because, like, I guess you can make the same argument with Mega ETH, because and with Solana, like, if you want the ultimate performance, if you want these validators, like, to be able to handle such high throughput and have like instantaneous real-time transactions, right now I feel like that just requires centralization. And do you agree?
Yeah, because the more validators you add to the network, the more hard the network becomes. So it could congest, and there is another thing. Maybe you have like, this is more of a technical problem, but if something bad happens to your chain, like it happened on Sui with the hack, you need to have control
Yeah.
to do something instantly. So I mean, I always tell people, like, decentralization is like utopic and it's a wet dream, and at what point it is really decentralized, or is it uh, centralized? It's a more philosophical question.
Yeah, and that even gets us back to like the ethos of like, where are we okay with drawing the line? Because, like, I don't know if Satoshi Nakamoto wanted these institutions to hold so much Bitcoin or hold so much Ethereum or acquire all this stuff, because you don't know, like, it kind of, that could be away from the ethos of like where we were going with this. And I guess,
Yeah, that depends on who you think Satoshi is. If you think it's Craig Wright, Craig Wright was an institutions guy, so
yeah.
it really depends on who you think Satoshi is. So yeah, but sorry, I interrupted you. Tell me.
Yeah, and I it brings me back to like the ethos of it, because basically it matters like which line you want to cross for having this performance, for having a highly performant L1 blockchain or having a highly performant L2 blockchain. Because with like you touched on the SWE incident, and like having all these massive funds in a decentralized I guess like network, it's just interesting, because like if you have a security risk, if you have concerns for something we don't know, like you're praying that validators all act in the best interest of the true ethos of crypto. And I don't like I it's hard because you just have to trust. There's trust at the end of the day with how everyone's gonna act. And some people would even argue like Bitcoin has gotten away from being true, like just money or whatever, and I guess that's why we have Bitcoin Cash. And it's just so interesting to me, because you see all these medians of exchange and in value and like all the different ecosystems, which I don't know in a few years like how we're going to be. Are we just going to have 100 more blockchains, 1,000 more blockchains, or are we going to have like 5 blockchains left?
I think option number two. I think we're just gonna have like 5 really valuable blockchains, and the rest of them are just gonna be like experimental blockchains, and of course there are gonna be new blockchains that come and with better technology and gonna be number one. But I mean, the good old days of crypto, I think they are gone. We are entering a new institutional crypto area. I still believe in crypto native stuff. I still believe in trenches. I still believe, but a lot of things are changing drastically.
Dude, yeah, I kind of agree. I think it's just worrisome because we've seen so much fractionalized liquidity just get spread across all these blockchains, and I feel like there has to just be a return to certain assets. There has to be a return to like just a few, because just the way it works is like we can't keep spreading out and out and out because there's not going to be enough users to use all these thousands of blockchains, and
Exactly.
like with that it just won't make economic sense to run a validator, because running a validator is very involved and a lot of these require pretty hefty proof of stake requirements.
Yeah, I know. That's the case in our validator business as well, because uh, you happen to all these new chains, you have to grind a lot with them, go from testnet to pre-testnet phase, testnet phase. Don't just spin up a validators, you have to do a lot of other works, like you know how we did Berachain. And in the end, even if you get like a Genesis mainnet spot or just a mainnet spot, the token is down only and you make no money because there is no demand.
Yeah, and like it's just basic economics. Like if there's no demand, the price will not go up. And I don't mean that in a FUD way. It's just like we're entering a essentially like a stage in market like maturing. Like the market's matured so much just over the last 2 years since I've seen it, and then over I guess since Bitcoin has begun, it's matured so much. It's just so interesting to see how things are going to play out. And I don't know, I wonder where we're all going to go, cuz that brings us like back to the L1 discussion. Like L1s are very very competitive. Like to have an L1 is essentially like a license to print money, but also like you need to be differentiating. Like you need to have your own demand. It has to make sense, and I guess you need to catch a bid from institutions.
Yeah, and I really feel like as an L1, you need to bring something new to the table. Because everybody makes an L1 now, we're gonna have DEX, we're gonna have money markets, we're gonna have, I don't know, perps, we're gonna have NFTs, we're gonna have staking. Okay, bro, we already have that on every other chain. Of course, you need to have those, but how do you differentiate yourself than the other guys?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that it's it's just tough. There's so many blockchains. Like I guess we're going to see I'm excited to see Monad launch. I'm excited to see the market's response to Monad, cuz I think they're building in a very very tough time, cuz I feel like Mega ETH kind of has more mindshare, which I don't really have too many opinions over those, but I think it's going to be interesting to see both of those launch.
Yeah, in my opinion, they're gonna have the same fate as Berachain at TG. I mean, Monad, the last round was 3 billion. Fucking 3 billion, man. Mega Eat, they didn't really go with that too much funding, but they are doing the same thing that Berachain does. Uh, NFT collections, hype them up on testnet. They are launched on I don't know where because I didn't go into that rabbit hole again. They are doing the same model that we saw it didn't work. And I mean, I like what Mana does, but they kind of lost the momentum. And that's why Mega Hit has a lot of momentum right now because they kept delaying stuff and they didn't communicate. And when people don't communicate, when the foundation doesn't communicate, then people start panicking and said, "Oh, Monad is never gonna launch. I'm never gonna get my airdrop."
Yeah, and I don't know. I think airdrops are done for. Like, I think airdrops are. It's, in my opinion, I don't know. I guess, black pilled on airdrops. It just doesn't seem like a very good distribution mechanism as it used to be. Because airdrops in a growing ecosystem, like, I don't know if you would say Jupiter was like one of the most famous airdrops of all time. That ended up, it played pretty well, but like the second round airdrop wasn't a good success. It was kind of a sell the news event, and I just see that people, I don't know, I think we're going to see more incentives for like early liquidity on chain. Like, hey, if
Hmm.
we launch a blockchain, like it's kind of going to be like Boyco, but it's going to be actually live on the blockchain, and you're going to be freely able to transact. Like, let's just say a new blockchain launches and we want Ethereum and our token uh, liquidity pool, and we're going to give you a good amount of our token if you come do that, and maybe you lock it or maybe you don't lock it, and you're able to earn the new native token. But if you remove the liquidity, your like tokens don't vest or something.
Exactly, because you can't just incentivize people because they're immediately after the TG because they are just gonna leave. I mean, on Berachain, it did kind of make sense what they thought with the RFA because they said we're gonna give this chunk of money to the projects, and the projects will give incentives to people 75% after mainnet or something like that. But it still didn't drive any kind of demand.
Yeah, I think a big issue was just like lack of coordination. Like, some protocols just did an airdrop and they airdropped to all their testnet users, and their testnet users got 40 cents because they had so many testnet users. And
Yeah,
I feel like a big thing that could have been done was like, if we had this incentivize anything type of approach, and we were like, hey, we're going to save our RFA for you to LP on our protocol. We're going to save it for you to like do something for an extended period of time. And it just came down to like, uh I guess like we gave you all the right like setup to design your own economically efficient and EV positive type game. But when that happens, like, just on a normal distribution, some will be successes and some won't. Like, that's just how it works.
you can't make everybody happy,
Yeah.
especially the airdrop game where you have uh, professional farmers.
Yeah, because that's a whole industry. Farming airdrops, like, you can provide for your family. You can buy your dream house.
Yeah, man. You saw that those Indians that they have like those crazy setups with all those phones that work automatically in computers. Those airdrop farms, they are incredible, man.
Yeah, it's definitely like, you show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. And if you're essentially designing a game that can be gamed, it's going to get gamed, and people are going to take
Yeah.
it to the most insane advantage, because people understand there's a lot of money to be made here.
Yeah, but you see, things are kind of changing. I mean, we're not in that meta anymore. You can't make money that easily like you did in the past bull runs, and the whole bull run thing doesn't really. It's not like 2021. In my 2021 was my official bull run because I know about Bitcoin since it was $90, but most of my friends pursued like doing crypto full time, but I wanted to work in media. I worked in media for 6 years. I learned a lot of discipline. I have good work ethics, but I am that kind of guy when I'm focused on something, I'm not focused on anything else. So I couldn't be focused on crypto. And now it's the other way around. So in 2021, people were printing. Right now, you don't really see people printing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
It's a more mature market, a lot more competition, a lot more, I don't know, everyone kind of understands the rules of the game, so you don't really just stumble yourself into a 6-figure airdrop.
Exactly. I mean, most of the people got into crypto because they thought they're gonna make fast money, and they ended up staying in crypto because decentralization makes sense. So I like the vibes here. I like the community thing. I like building stuff. I met cool people in crypto. I can travel the world working in crypto. So that's the benefit of it.
Yeah, dude, definitely. I 100% agree. I think, I don't know, new conditions require new players, new entrants. I think there's a ton of opportunity, especially for, I don't know, you see a lot of the incumbent protocols, like when you grow so large, you lose agility and you lose the ability to do truly innovating things and take some big risks.
Yeah, but the bigger you get, the more responsibility you have. Like, look at Ethereum right now. With Ethereum, everybody was complaining the foundation is not responding. I mean, dude, it's the second largest blockchain there is. I mean, it's not gonna be so responsive like those guys from the Berachain Foundation, which is a young chain, you know, and they don't really can do. I don't know. They can't go all in on risky innovations because they have responsibility, especially now when institutions come on board. They have to be very careful. All eyes are on them. Look at our XRP, what happened to them. They had a lawsuit, 10 years lawsuit, 8 years lawsuit. That shit fucks you up, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you do, I don't know, the bigger you get, the more targets you have on your back.
Yeah. But like you, I love experimental stuff. That's why I got into Berachain. I love trying new things. I'm all about innovations, all about trying things out, and really looking forward to see how crypto is gonna look in the next 10 years. How do you think it's gonna look?
I It's tough to say, but I feel like we're going to blur the lines between traditional finance and where we are now, because it really, like, I think like Robinhood is probably one of the best things to ever happen to crypto, just in the sense where people are able to trade equities and get experience of like trading things on their phone, no fees, just do it quick and easy. And that pivots amazing to crypto, because crypto, like, I'm used to like being able to do whatever the hell I want 24/7 whenever the hell I want. And I really see that, I guess everyone's gonna want that. Like, equities are gonna be like, the Nasdaq has teased like trading 24/7, and that's just, I feel like, gonna become the standard, like trading with low slippage, like low fees, whenever you want, however you want.
Mm-hmm.
And moving money just across borders anywhere, like being able to essentially monetize yourself online is going to become easier than ever. Especially, we've seen PayPal, PYUSD, and then BYUSD on Berachain
Yeah,
be
exactly.
like such a massive player. And I feel like they're going to be such a big winner for allowing people to just move funds anywhere in the world, anytime they want, extremely cheap.
Yeah, and I feel like stable coins are the real narrative of crypto. You know, you can hear stories of people from South America where the inflation is very big, or countries from Africa, and they are saying, I need to buy stable coins instantly because my currency is dropping so fast. That's the only way I can save up some money. So if I let's say uh, you are from an emergent country or a poor country, and I'm going to work somewhere in a better country, and I want to send funds instantly back home to my family, I just do clicks and I send them stablecoin, lowest fees. Remember the days when we had like Western Union, we had all those fees. It was horrendous. You had to go at those places to get the money, to get the ID. To well,
Yeah, no, I've used the Western Union before, and yeah, it's just it's a pain in the ass. It's annoying, and I feel like crypto is like it's just poised to really just make everything so easy. And like dude, a stable coin, a USD coin, that's a real world asset. Like that is RWA. And I feel like moving towards like stocks being on chain, doing like gold trading on chain, trading real world assets is just going to become such a norm. And I don't know how the regulatory system is going to respond to that, but it really like I don't know. I'm a huge stable guy. I've seen stables being like the future for so long because it just makes sense. It makes so much sense to me.
exactly. And I mean, this is just the beginning, man. And it's so crazy because our generation had like the best times possible. We didn't live in communist socialism. We didn't have the Great Depression. We didn't have the Spanish flu. We didn't have any wars. And on the other hand, right now we are starting to see like war shit going and really happening. You know, with Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Iran and USA. And on the other hand, the technology is going so rapidly. You know, everything is exponentially growing and growing and growing, and then you don't know what to believe. Where are you going?
Yeah, dude, definitely. I agree. I think I don't know. There's a lot of bad in the world, but it's just so easy to forget about all the good. I think there's so much good going on. I think human beings are made to be good people. I think we trend towards positivity, trend towards being good. And I really hope all this technology just like brings us together as a world and it becomes like a global economy focus, not just US markets, not just uh, locking
Mhm.
people out. Like you have to be an accredited investor. It's like, no, anyone can participate in the financial upside of the world. And that's what I really hope. And that's why I like crypto. I like self custody. I like being able to, I need to send money to my friend in freaking Brazil. Like I've done that. Like I think I think it's amazing to be able to have the power to do that. Because if I wanted to call up Bank of America and get them to figure out how to do that, that would just be impossible. Like they would be like, "What? We're not sending money."
You have to stay on the call center first. Wait like 10 minutes to somebody to actually respond to you, and then they say, "Oh, we cannot do that. Not possible."
Dude, yeah, that's how it would be. They would they would have me on the phone for so long, and it's like I don't know. I think there's so much good that can be done with this, and I do hope we're maturing as a market because there's a lot of bad actors in the space. There's people that I don't know, they overpromise, underdeliver, and I really think education is just the way. Like being able to teach someone, being able to onboard them, it literally is one person at a time. And I do think Berachain can be super intimidating for so many people. It can be overwhelming. It can be way too much. And as Jani has said, like everyone's a Bera. They just may not know yet. So you just have to
That's a
educate
good
some
one.
people. You just have to show them what's going on, walk them through. Like, I don't know. I try to always, I mean this when I say this, like, I'm a DM away. You reach out to me on X or Discord, I'll get to it. I'll walk you through whatever you need to do, and let's all work towards the goals that everyone wants to hit.
Yeah, same here. My DMs are always open, always happy to help, always happy to, I don't know, maybe you need an advice or something. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's the way, community, let's help ourselves. That's the only way.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Brother, before you wrap this up, do you have like any final words for the Berachain community or for the crypto community as a whole?
I just want to, I really want to harp on, like, of course, like Berachain, we've seen, dude, a down only chart. We've seen ruggers. We've seen people take the RFA and go run. And it's really easy to hyper focus on all the bad stuff, point at the bad stuff, say this ecosystem's full of scammers and bad actors. But I can attest to it. Like, there's a ton of good people in the Berachain ecosystem, ton of good people in Web3 in general. And I really believe in the tech. I believe in the people, and always, seriously, always take bets on people. Don't take bets on projects. Find the people, talk with the people. If a team won't communicate with you, if you can't connect with anyone from the team, be a little weary, and always do your own research and go kick some ass, guys.
Let's go, man. It was really great having you on.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Have a great one, brother.
See ya. Bye-bye.